Guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got probably one of the hardest tests yet. We've got the Mizuno 221 bladed iron versus the Srixon Z Forged. Now, I'm not sure who's voted for this. This doesn't sound too crispy. I feel like Chris has been in the YouTube comments box and added this to the list because this is a right stitch up. Last week we've tested the G430 and the T350. We've tested these nice forgiving irons, and today we've got these two irons out, which I'm not sure I'm going to even find the face, let alone the middle. So look, let's get them to the chest. Let's put them in the Trackman studio. Remember guys, if you like our videos, please hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends. So we've jumped in here at Milton Keynes. We've got the two bladed irons. I sort of am looking forward to this, but I'm not. I think it's going to be a very obvious test at my ball striking skills. We've got the Srixon Z Forged first. We've tested this iron before, actually. We reviewed this iron. So if you want the tech information on this, head back over to one of our previous videos where we did it on Z Forged. We started building Srixon, I don't know, back in August, back in end of July, just from the Open. I think Chris announced that when he was on the tour truck at the Open, which was great. And Srixon as a brand have been really good with us. You know, we love building products for these fantastic manufacturers, and this and Mizuno obviously as well. Key partner for us being Mizuno. We build both of these products, and they're very, very similar. Both, you know, forged products, well built, solid, good looking product. So, you know, it's always difficult when you put one against the other, but it's interesting. I've gone and put the Modus 120 stiff into the Srixon Z Forged, a little bit heavier, a little bit more like I would play. I liked this iron last time I hit it. I thought it was really powerful. I think if you go back to the videos that I hit, the numbers actually were surprising, actually how good this iron actually was. And I think there was an even comment that I mentioned back in, don't be afraid of this iron. You know, it's a really, really solid iron. So let's get some numbers today. Let's see if I've improved my ball striking since then. And see what it comes up. You know, you know what I'm going to say. It just is quality, and look how good that looks. Back in the day, I might have played this, but man alive, I wouldn't be thinking about it now. It's just so good. It's such a good iron. It's so good. I say I'm not going to play it, but then it'd be one of them horrible things where last minute I'd make that decision. I'd put a set of these in the bag, and then I'd be regretting it every time I pulled the 5-iron out. There you go. You forget, you get carried away, one shot. That's the problem, right? Is when you hit it as bad as I can hit it there. Look at the drop off. That one felt solid. Good strike. Just beautiful flight. You know, land angle's fantastic with this product. Sometimes with this type of product, you see the ball come out quite low, quite bullety. Z Forge doesn't do that. It carries good, right? So I've hit two there, similar numbers. What is good with this type of product is that you get this level of consistency when you do strike the middle, because of the type of bladed head it is and the player's type iron that it is, that consistency is key. So that's consistency in feel, consistency in yardage. When you hit it solid, you're not going to get a jumper that's going to go 25, 30 yards further. You're not going to get something. The downside is you get the reverse. So a missed strike is going to drop off quite quickly. It just sounds great, doesn't it? There you go. Look, 3 yards out every time in carry. I mean, it's just such a good quality iron. Okay, a couple more. Oh, there she is. There she is. It's cold. It's November. Oh, that one felt on the fingertips. That one. Got away with it though, didn't we? Got away with that one. Must have found just that extra groove, or groove enough. There you go, a bit toey. Okay, so there's Z Forged. I mean, good irons. Mark II version. let's grab the 221. Get me my little key. So always interesting when you put the Mizuno together, because it is a slightly different system in their fitting kit. Put the screw on the hosel, slightly different, always has done. Everyone else tends to go through the heel of the club. Again, doesn't look too similar. It looks smaller to me. It's just Mizuno, isn't it? I mean, what else is there to say? It just looks insane. I'm hoping the next person that writes a review or writes a comment on what they want testing, it is big and it is chunky and I can easily hit it. That was so bad as a swing. That was a bit better, a bit toey again. You can see how hard these irons are to strike. If you've watched some of the reviews where I've done G430 or 350, even 200, T200 stuff, I230, that type of review, it's really, really forgiving. You can see as well, that didn't actually feel that bad. It was okay, it wasn't perfect. Oh, no, 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 no. I definitely think this is where you see guys go over and watch some of these other fantastic YouTube channels. I mean, we spend a lot of time watching YouTube channels. There's some great videos and reviews from, you know, personally, I love watching the guys at Club Champion. I think Ian does, and his videos are insanely good. But someone I used to work with back in the day, Stuart Cartwright down working with Precision Golf, his videos are brilliant, but you can see why people love watching them videos, because those guys can actually strike a golf ball, which is something that maybe we're missing in our videos. So maybe we need to get hold of someone who can actually hit it, because when you're testing irons like this, you need guys like that can stripe a golf ball. Wow. I mean, brilliant height. It doesn't feel as powerful as the Srixon. It definitely doesn't feel as powerful. I feel like I'm having to work really, really hard with this head to get it out there. It feels fantastic, but in terms of when it comes off the face, but yeah, I'm having to feel like it really have to work hard. Like that, like I feel like all of a sudden with 221, I'm absolutely having to slog it. And I think this is the interesting thing with the Mizuno range, right? Is that they make such a good forged range that no one is diving into 221 at the drop of a hat. You might combo this. I can see why guys would combo this 8-9 wedge. But I think, I mean, the wear mark in this is so far at the toe. But when you've got a brand like Mizuno that creates such good forged family, 223 is just the go-to. You know, if you want that easy to hit iron, 223 is go-to. I know they've built this and designed this iron to match in with 225 actually. So you could go 4, 5, 6, 7 in 225 and maybe down into, so it almost looks like the same set of irons. But the long irons with this, you've got to be some sort of golfer. Like, you've got to be seriously confident and seriously good to get this out of this all the time. Get something out of this all the time. It's gone a long way that, but I felt like I'd have to really strike that. Okay, one more. I've had to jump on those last two. One thing, those last two really did feel like they came out the middle, and that last one in particular, it was just incredible in terms of its shape. So let's get the numbers up on Trackman and let's see how they compare. So just here we are right on the screen. I like to look at that. I mean, how bad is that? How bad? Oof. So you can see how unforgiving these irons are. But what is fascinating straight out of the gate, and I think I said it in the video there, or when I was hitting them, was it felt more consistent, more control with the Z Forged than the Srixon. You can see that in the tightness. Apart from that one that I almost missed, that we've deleted, look at the scatter pattern with 221. You know, it's a bit all over the place. You know, there's some real numbers that are, you know, I can delete a couple of these really dodgy ones, which would obviously skew the averages, but I mean, that one out there is just, if we delete the two worst ones, you can still see that the pattern with the Srixon is much more consistent in its yardage. We've got one out there, 185 carry down to 160 carry. I think that's down to the forgiveness of the head. You know, they look brilliant, but that bit of muscle back on the back of the Srixon just gives you a bit more control for me, a bit more stability on the offset hit. Let's have a look at the numbers. 175 with Z Forged on average, 173. Like, average wise, there's not a lot of difference. But there shouldn't be, right? They're two bladed forged irons. They're brilliant product. There shouldn't be a massive amount of difference. But you can see the smash factor is so low. Now that really is not down to anything to do with the product. That is purely me finding the face, which at the beginning I said was going to be difficult. So look, let's not dwell too much on the numbers. They're very like for like. I'd like the consistency of Srixon. So where are we in terms of feel and look? Well, look, I think they both look good. I don't think you would be putting them down and thinking one's the ugly sister to the other. They are both brilliant looking irons, clean, classic, quality. I'm going to call it a simple draw. I can't pick between a Mizuno and a Srixon blade. It's just, it's like asking to pick which one's your favourite child. It's just impossible. In terms of the feel, well, the feel, I preferred the feel of the Srixon. I thought it was more solid. Thought it was, it just felt, maybe it's because it was better on the off-centre hits. Mizuno, I felt like I had to work harder to get some ball speed out of it, but that's just a personal preference. In terms of the custom options, as I said before, we build both of these products, so we can put what shafts you want, which will help tighten up the dispersions and the consistency of the product, because we can move about a bit. I think the ability to combo both, you know, the Z Forged iron with the ZX7 range and 221 all the way through with 225 and 223, you can combo those. So there's huge custom options and variations. In terms of price, this is where, for me, Srixon just edge it. They started to edge it. So, you know, the other factors really, they're all very similar. They're all, you know, it's a tie all the way through until we get to this price. I think price-wise, Srixon will always just outbeat it. It's always priced really, really competitively. It's a really good product. Obviously, you can upcharge it as much as you like with fancy shafts and fancy grips, but you can, with that type of product, you can see the value in Srixon versus the Mizuno in terms of price. So you're going to save maybe up to £200-300 depending on the set makeup. Overall performance, I'm going to take this away from I'm going to make this subjective, right? And I look at the numbers, and the averages are very similar. Although you've got the highs and lows, the long shot on the 221 versus the sort of okay shot, the 7 out of 10, is quite a disparity. There's quite a big gap. However, for me, subjectively, I'm going to hands down say my personal preference. If you had to, you know, put a gun to my head and you said, do you know what, you've got to pick one of these irons to play in 2024, it would be the Srixon. It would be the Srixon iron. I instinctively preferred it when I looked down on it. It felt better. It was more consistent. The numbers feel tighter. So for me, the Srixon overall, out of all of that testing, just edges it just slightly. And by the way, I was a Mizuno ambassador back in the day. I still love Mizuno. I'm not anti-Mizuno, but out of these two irons, the Srixon's definitely edging it for me. So guys, if you enjoyed that video, it was requested by one of you, the viewers. Our channel, remember, is for you. So we're not doing this for any other reason, as we want to bring you as much good, rich value content on equipment as humanly possible, whether that be about shafts, whether that be about grips or heads or new product, old product, wedges, woods, irons, you name it. We want to create this channel basically for you, the golfer, to get as much honest, unbiased testing as possible. If there's a type of video you would like to see, if you would like to see Chris come out from behind the camera, hit some shots, he has got a lot slower swing speed. I think he's looking at me now with a bit of a look to say, I think his iron speed is about 80 miles an hour. So it's a bit more relatable. I know I swing it about 95, 96. So sometimes that's not always a great test when you're looking at some of this more forgiving product. So I think we'll get Chris in front of the camera as well. If there's any other type of video that you would like us to watch or like us to build for you to watch to enhance your golfing experience and making sure that when you're looking and guiding your golfing purchases, whether that's with us or with any other fantastic retailer around the world, please write it in the comments box, message us on social medias. Make sure you follow us and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, but hit that, follow us over on Facebook, follow us over on Instagram, and we're going to try and bring you as much golfing content as possible. Thanks for watching, guys, and please remember to hit subscribe and tell all your golfing friends.